Peace, family. DJ Mighty Quinn. On the ones and twos, you know who I am. Family knows me as Gil, my old friends. Father MC, Moet, Tricky, Peter Moore, Poppin' Pete, Tony Terry, boy, God dog, Sweet Sensation, Crown Heights Affair, on First Circle, Unlimited Touch, my boy Sandy on the bass, the wickedest man on the bass. You know what I'm saying? Touched many of hits that, you know, graced the ears of the world, where hip hop started at. This is my legacy, my history, and showing you my family. Before I start, give thanks to God. Shouts out to the Johnson family, the Jones, the Clarks, the Winfields, the Witts, the Whitfields, the Bordens, the Steels. I can go on a long line. I got a lot of family out there. Thousands, if I can just say thousands. Millions, if possible. Keep up with the Joneses, you know what I'm saying? Clarks and the Jones. Love y'all. Beautiful people, man. Y'all the most gorgeous people on this planet. But back to what I was talking about. The family legacy. And to honor, I challenge y'all out there to come out and show where you came from. Who are you? This is who I am. It started a long time ago with my favorite uncle, Willie Winfield and the Harp Tones. This is his album. That's my Uncle Willie right there, the top of the group. Cedar, Barbara, all of the group members. I mean, well, he exchanged a couple of people, I think, but this is his album here. His original songs were Forever Mine. This is side A. Forever Mine, What Is Your Decision? Loving a Girl Like You, Since I Fell For You, and the world famous Sunday Kinda Love. Side B, we got It Was Just For Laughs. I depend on you. My memories of you. I'll Never Tell, which was another hit. And another hit was the Mambo Boogie, which was a dance back in the day. This is my family here, my family legacy here. It started back then in the early, was it 40s, 50s? I go back to the 30s. And my Uncle Willie, our family and my blood, and Ken, I love you to death. Still alive doing shows, touring, performing. I love you. This shouts out to you and my family, all the Winfields. And then after this came, I do have another cousin. I don't have his album, but my cousin Bill Witt and the Velotones, and also he was leader of the Rocket Tones. So we got a history going here. But from them, as far as when I connected, my father, Gil Rodriguez Sr., I love you. Call me, trying to get in touch with you. I'll get back with you. My uncles and them. This is my uncle, my mother's brothers. Came from 14 children. You know what I'm saying? But my mother was originally in this group. It started with my mother, Marilyn Lindsay, Walter Lindsay, John Lindsay, Bernard Lindsay, and then there's another brother that was originally started, Bonnie Lindsay. Okay, love you all. This is our legacy. I'm showing you where we came from. My Uncle Walter, the coolest motherfucker on the planet, you know what I'm saying? But gangster like a motherfucker and don't take nobody's shit. My Uncle John, the wizard, the scientist. My Uncle B, the voice, you know what I'm saying? He swooned many of people and ladies, you know what I'm saying, to your family out there know what I'm talking about. My Uncle B right here, my Uncle John and my Uncle Walter. Love y'all to death. This is their album here, 1982. The songs on the album were, the hit single was You Know I Want You Back. We were on the same label as Michael Jackson. The second song is Your Love Is the Real Deal. The third song is You Take Me Higher. The ballad is I Know Now. Another up-tempo, Good Shot. Up-tempo, Be My Lady. Up-tempo, Freestyle. Freestyle was what I was talking about on another video preview previously. Freestyle was the song that they wrote about what we did before hip-hop started. They put this down on wax, my uncles and them. True hip-hop history. Freestyle was the first song to talk about the dance we did before hip-hop got started. Freestyling was hip-hop, but they changed the name into, as like I said, when it fused with, you know, the disco era and things like that was ending, and then you had the break dancing coming in, and as like I said, the blacks and the Latinos, which we call Afro-Ricans back then, power that's in my blood, love y'all Boricua to the fullest, love y'all. This was a song talking about explaining what we did dance-wise, and we freestyled and we battled each other, and the freeze came from freestyling, not from breakdancing. And all the spinning on the heads and the windmills and the 1990s and the 2000s and popping and locking and all that stuff came after. But this song documented that, 1982. The last song on the album is called Come With Me, which is a beautiful ballad that my Uncle John does the lead on, and my Uncle B jumps in on the lead, and my Uncle Walter. So they exchange it up. But if you get a chance to, cop this album. Original History. This is legacy right here. My family. Again, going back from my family singing group. Now we got a hip hop group that was out in the 80s and the 90s, which is Lords at War. My cousin Samad. Peace to the Clark family. My cousin Samad, that's him right there. Light-skinned pretty motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, that runs in the family, you know what I'm saying, and undeniable, you know what I'm saying, hits on this joint, you know what I'm saying, true hip-hop. Go back and look for this, cop this album, Lords at War, and my cousin Samad. This is the back of the album. The songs on this album is What You Smokin', which was the hit. And the next song that they hit, next hit that they had was Jim Kelly and Black Belt Jones, 4:18, 4 minutes and 18 seconds, and written, produced, and arranged by Samad and Fadamax for law-abiding citizens. Executive producer was Connolly and Van Ria. Okay, just to show you that I have a strong history in this business. And going back to my uncle's Intensive Heat, which is, as like I said, my foundation, and where I got my groove on. You know what I'm saying? I get to learn about it. I got around a lot of celebrities. I get to know a lot of celebrities through these three motherfuckers right here. My uncles, my blood, my kin, my twin, Uncle Walt. You know what I'm saying? Love you. Gotta call you. These three cats, they were a major influence on my life. But enough of the old talk. Go into the biography of it, and after that, then we're gonna be done. This is basically, again, Intensive Heat biography, and I'm gonna read the biography to you. Okay, here we go. The Heat. You know what I'm saying? We used to call them Intensive Heat. Other than calling Intensive Heat, we call them the Heat. The Heat. You see what I'm saying to you? The Heat. And the biography goes like this. John, Walter, and Bernard grew up under professional musical direction under their brother-in-law, Gil Rodriguez, Sr., my father. We recall times when we'd rehearse day and night, repeatedly going over one segment of a song until we got it right. Many of our neighbors didn't mind the noise pollution because they approved of what we were doing and trying to achieve. Those were the good old days. Shouts out to Mookie Wilson. I know you moved out to Alaska. Sent my grandmother a husky. Thank you. I love you, Mookie. Uncle Mook, I call you. Boom. Here we go. Mookie Wilson of Crown Heights Affair introduced the group to Donnie Linton, who shortly after became their manager. While under management with Donnie the trio, Donnie Linton is a legend in this music business. Donnie Linton is responsible for Andre Harrell, all these other cats that came out for the 80s and doing music. I mean, you're talking about all the groups. You're talking about D-Train. You're talking about Jocelyn Brown. You're talking about all our label mates. Oh, man. Going into line. D-Train, Jocelyn Brown. Who else? Unlimited Touch. Man, how many people can I name? I can go into so many groups. But anyway, to go on, that's Donnie Linton. Shouts out to Donnie. What's up, Uncle Donnie? Peace to you. Donnie, the trio known as Intensive Heat, recorded their debut self-titled album on My Disc Records, distributed by Sony Records Associated Labels. Produced by Raymond Reed, R.I.P. Raymond Rock Reed, Chris Rock's uncle. You know, Brooklyn in the house, you know what I'm saying? That's family right there. Rest in peace, sleep in peace, Rock Reed. And William Anderson, which we call Bubba. Our producers were two of the hottest producers at the forefront of black music renaissance, responsible for several chart-topping singles. Intensive Heat's debut effort featured tracks like You Know I Want You Back, Good Shot, and Freestyle. Talked about that. Dance music, undeniably the thrust of this album, but the group is equally adept in interpreting ballads, evidenced by songs such as I Know Now and Come With Me. We've always tried to be versatile, explains Uncle Walt. Versatility will keep you making records for a long time. Recording our first album was a very exciting experience, says John. Uncle John Lindsay, and getting to meet some of our artists, to meet other artists. Again, another label mate, Luther Vandross, was open back then. Got to meet him. Beautiful person. Even my godfather, Reggie Seegers, rest in peace. Reggie, Godfather Reggie, he was like my uncle, but my father's best friend was Reggie Seegers, who was a vocal teacher, and he worked with Luther. Artists like Luther Vandross and Patty Austin was such a rush, adds Bernard. Uncle Bernard Lindsay. Shouts out. Since the early 70s, Walter, John, and Bernard have been making music of one sort or another. As 3 of 14 children, music was a big part of the Lindsay's family. Shout out to the Lindsay family worldwide. Peace to you. All my cousins. Mazaks, peace. My cousins the Mazaks. Oh, we got 1 million Mazaks. Peace to my cousins. As 3 of 14 children, music was a big part of the Lindsay family's life, recalls Walter. The oldest member of the group, we grew up singing and entertaining ourselves. All 14 of us. But John, Bernard, and I decided just to stick with it. That wasn't an easy decision to make, since their mother, Elizabeth, was less than thrilled at the prospect of her sons becoming recording artists. Rest in peace, Elizabeth Jones, married name Lindsay. I love you, I miss you. My grandmother. She was less than thrilled at the prospect of her sons becoming a recording artist. When we were 5 and 6 years old, our mother would dress us up in t-shirts with slogans like, "My son, the doctor," or "My son, the lawyer," printed on them, confides John. It took some getting used to, but in recent years, she's become one of our most loyal supporters. My grandmother supported their music and always pushed them to do their music. Thank you. She was an angel on our shoulders. As self-professed milk and juice boys, Intensive Heat exudes a fresh, clean-cut appeal. This is also reflective in their music and stage show. We want to be a positive influence on people, so we put everything into whatever we do, explains Bernard Lindsay. Yeah, we're intense, adds John. That's my uncle. All right. That's a big statement for any new artist, but Intensive Heat. I got to go to the Heat, show the album. Intensive Heat are sure to make believers out of you. We are ready for the 90s and we're hitting hard. Well, hitting hard, that's how we said it back then. Over the years, we have developed ourselves as singers, songwriters, and producers, which were some of our aspirations. Being in control of the total creative process is key in keeping pace with today's changing music industry. One has to be what we refer to as a super artist to compete with a growing number of exceptional performers. The ones that survive are the ones able to keep their fingers on the pulse of today's changing market. We feel we are ready. And that was the bio of Intensive Heat, aka The Heat. Shouts out again to Uncle Walt Lindsay, John Lindsay, Uncle Bernard Lindsay, which we call Moose, Uncle Duck, my Uncle John, the scientist in the lab. Thank you for being in my life, for getting this music out of me and perpetuating me into what I do, helping other people. And from my experiences, just coming out and working and singing background and working on production with my uncles, I've had the chance to, I left New York, I went to Omaha, Nebraska, and I ran into this cat named Carl Washington, who he had just a boxing situation called CW Boxing. Okay, Carl Washington, there's a documentary on the light heavyweight champ, my boy. Remember when you was little, Terrence Bud Crawford. There's a document you can get on cable, you can get on there, Carl Washington and his trainer, Midge Minor. Shouts out to Carl Washington and the legend Midge Minor, the greatest boxing trainer in the world. Shouts out to all my boys from CW, you know what I'm saying, all those days. I started a music program, and me and Carl worked together, and I was there for 13 years. I had a lot of children going through there, working with kids, doing community service and things like that. And I challenge any black man out there with all your skills, whatever the fuck you do, excuse my language, whatever you do, pass it down to a younger cat. Young black men have trouble building their confidence because most of them don't have their fathers at home. I was blessed to have my father at home, you know what I'm saying? And yet I also know what it's not like not to have him at home. So I had him there and then he was gone. And either way, it's not a good situation for a young black man. You know what I'm saying? Especially nowadays, is all the homosexuality and all the crazy shit going on. Build that skill up in him. A black man is the creator of this earth. I don't give a damn what nobody say. The black man is the creator of all things. The lights that I'm using in this damn room, those shades behind me, that door, those knobs on that door, this seat, this chair, which we call the square, in masonry they call it the square, which the Egyptians used it as a symbol of truth. and which the black man is the truth, and that melanin in your skin is the universe and the key to all things in the universe. But back to what I was saying. Melanin gives. Melanin is the nurturer. Melanin is the provider to the world. And so we are the children of we are the melanated children, and we take on that same characteristic of being providers, nurturers. So I nurtured, I guess, 1,000 kids. Being a part of their life, I can't take the total credit for it, but I had started a music program, and I had, like, say, I started out with like 15 kids. Who came down there? Oh boy, I can name a couple of them. Quita Flowers, Dewan and Dewana Jones, Esther Dean. Oh boy, there's a bunch of them. There's so many of them. Oh boy, Mac and Take. We had I don't know, I can't remember. Wyshal Davis. So many people I touched back then. Lewis, we called him Elmac. We had black guy, touched his life. Who was a part of him. He helped with the music production and stuff like that. But from these things, I wanted them to see what music was really about, and learning an instrument, and learning what production, learning what engineering is. You know what I'm saying? You know, now we got this thing now. We don't use a piano no more. But, well, I use it. But these things like Machine Micro, doing music production and stuff like that, even down to my DJing, all of these things are for music. You know what I'm saying? We use it to create and play and entertain. But out of these kids in my class, I've had many successes. You know, some still doing music, some still doing, they did something else. Shouts out to Sheena Reynolds Parks, which she is a, oh boy, she got her doctorates and she graduated. Congratulations to you, Sheena Reynolds, which I call you a grown woman now. Through your father, I had a close relationship with her father, Levester Parks, rest in peace. Who was like my brother Tyrone Robinson. What's up, my brother out in Omaha, still working with the music. Another girl was in there, Esther Dean. She was a young girl in there. She had a little acne thing. Cute little girl came in there, and she was in there standing around listening, and she had a little paper, and she linked up with couple other students in there and was writing songs with them. We had another group. Oh, shouts out to oh boy, who's the cat that Esther Dean was working with? Oh boy. But anyway, Esther Dean was working with several of the kids. She would be up there with Carl. She was up there. I mean, it was it was like family. Everybody in Omaha, Nebraska knew each other. And I was integrated into that family. So I don't know who this is. Hold on. Hello? Hello? Anyway. But from Esther Dean. Esther Dean was a kid. I remember sat these kids down in there before we even started some stuff. And we had the pianos out, we had all the instruments out in there, and we had built the studio from the scratch. Got some bowling floors and made a stage for them to dance on. We got some mirrors donated. We got floor. Shouts out to the Omaha Business, the Business Technology Center. On helping us with the donations and stuff, with the chairs, the tables, and just to hold the walls, everything. We built this whole music program out of a gas station in downtown Omaha, right before you cross the L downtown, on Cass Street, 16th and Cass. Address is 16th and Cass, Omaha, Nebraska. But she went on and became writer for Chris Brown, Rihanna, I think LINDSAY. She worked with a couple of people, and the list goes on. And she put out her own single, "Drop It Low." Esther Dean, "Drop It Low." Check it out. It's on Facebook. It's on YouTube. Pull it up. Popular girl. She's very beautiful, and I'm glad that her dreams came true as far as a ghostwriter and an artist. Even further, as like I said, shouts out to Terrence Bud Crawford. The kid used to sit under me when I was in the studio by myself. He'd come down and we talk and chat and chill it every day. He was a hard-headed kid, boy, but I love him to death, man. Shouts out to you. Congratulations to your winning the lightweight championship. Bud Crawford, all the way, nigga, I'm behind you 100,000%. Shouts out to Strong Arm, Houston. You know what I'm saying? Strong Arm, Houston. My boy, Mr. Soul, Busy B. Oh boy, Measy, Long Measy, my boy. A bunch of people I could shout out. Thumper, my boy Craig Thumper Samuels. Peace out shouts out to you. Shouts out to your father, remember the photographer. We did a lot of things back in the day, but just wanted to let you know, get into a business, write a proposal, get you a proposal together for a grant to open up a youth center, non-profit. You know what I'm saying? Guide these kids to something. Teach them the Bible. Teach them education, business, computers. Etiquette. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all grown women out there can open up a center for teaching these young ladies some etiquette and class. You know what I'm saying? They need it. But just to show you the legacy of where I came from and how, if you look now at CW Free Source Center and CW Boxing and all the people I touched that did the same thing as I did, and the people that's in my family that did great. Shouts out to my, I call her my aunt. She is my aunt because my blood kin, Aura Clark. What do you call it? Cush Schools here in NYC. Shouts out to you. I love you. To my brother, I call him my brother. He's my cousin. Karim Kamara, State Assemblyman. I love you. Peace out to you. Keep doing what you're doing. Samad, keep doing what you're doing. Jair. All my cousins that's out there doing big things, you know what I'm saying? There's so many of you, I can't name all of you. Tawana, Lily, George, Anthony, Shadi Heru from my group, Triple Threat, when we performed at Apollo and Puffy tried to sign us. And again, I previously did that in the interview, a tape that I recorded about Shadi, me, and Anthony Lindsay, my uncle Anthony, which was one of the younger brothers of my uncles. Had a group. We started a group after the intensive heat situation, and we performed and we did a lot. We got entangled with a lot of people. Shouts out to Bob Courier, Platinum Vibe, Ted Courier, and Bob Curry, my manager, which is also the manager of Tony Terry, my brother. I love you. My idol. I got to work with my idol, Tony Terry. That nigga is the illest singer on the planet. Love you, brother. Hope everything's going good down in North Carolina. Shouts out to Sherry Shepherd. I can go down a long line of list. Patty Donahue from MCA, when I used to roll up there in MCA. My brother's Antonio G. Rasmus. Look up Black History Memorial Awards. It's on Facebook. Look on the internet, Google it. Black History Memorial Awards. BHM is the logo. Riley Wynn. All of these businesses, my boy Tony, I call him. That's my brother. You know, Tony, but his name's Antonio Rasmus. Look him up on Facebook. Link with him. Honoring all the black historical people that did it before us and honoring these people. Shouts out to Father MC. Shouts out to LL. Shouts out to my boy Shockbox. I ain't seen you in a long time, man, since we've been in the studio back in Brooklyn and you moved. But shouts out to you, legend. Definitely a shout out to my brother Kenny Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? I love you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? All the love, inshallah. I hope you live forever, my brother. Intelligent brother. You can look him up. The Nation of Islam, the Nuwapians, the Commission Science, University of Commission Sciences. My godfather, brother, Philip Valentine. I love you. That's my spiritual father. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I couldn't say it no more. Oh boy. Oh boy. Shouts out to Bishop Fuller Williams. We call her Little Flower. Chief Little Fox out in Long Island. Peace to you. All my Indian family, that Indian blood, that native Moorish blood. Keep it popping. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. Unite, black people. Unite. I love you. Peace to all my family, all my friends. Jermaine, Moet, Tricky, love you. Farak, you know what I'm saying? Back in the high school, junior high school days, you know what I'm saying? We kicked up dust back then. But peace to my family, you know what I'm saying? I love y'all all. My friends, family, y'all know me. I'll speak to y'all later. Peace. And remember, y'all, legacy. This is legacy right here. And giving honor to my family. This is my family. Willie and the Harp Tones. And that's my Uncle Willie right there. Intensive Heat, my Uncle Bernard. My Uncle John. My Uncle Walter. And then my cousin, Samad. There's my cousin Samad right there. And a group called Lords at War. And this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Legacy. Keep it going. Keep it going. We must keep this going. To all my younger cousins out there, keep this going. We got 3 legends in our family. You know what I'm saying? We got, 4. My cousin, can't forget, Bill Witt and the Velotones and the Rocket Tones. Can't forget. We got some gospel cousins. We got, it goes down the line. I can't even name how many people we got in this music business. But blessings to you all. Shouts out. Peace.